No, I said this earlier in the year. The problem with this administration is when they increase the presence of law enforcement in a symbolic way, they're really playing with fire here. Because what the Trump administration is doing is they're gesturing towards fascism. They're signaling towards fascism, but we don't actually have it. They're creating the appearance of a police state to satisfy the base, but they're not delivering one. And people might say, well, isn't that a good thing? And I would say no, because you can either not have a police state or you can have a police state, but you can't pretend like you have one and not have one. Why? Because what the Trump administration is doing, they're deploying National Guard allegedly to all these cities. People think that's happening, even though it's really not. They're sending Border Patrol and ICE into all the cities, rounding people up in these very visible raids, very provocative. And they're bragging about it. And again, the numbers are not high. These detention facilities, many of them are empty. The mass deportations are not happening. They're sending like hundreds of personnel to round up a dozen people. Like it's not what they're making it out to be. They're marketing it like it's a restoration of law and order, but we really don't have that. How do we know? Because we keep getting shot. In Trump's first term, we all got censored. We all got banned. In Biden's term, we all got persecuted. We got charged. We got censored from other things, banned from bank accounts, no-fly list, Quad S on an airplane.
It's crazy to think that this is happening in America. Before 2020, this would have sounded ridiculous to say, to think. After 2020, just things like this do not seem crazy at all, and it seems very possible. You would think that there's no corruption in America, but there just might be a little bit of corruption, you know? In a different scale, not in the same type of scale that every other country operates in, but it's in a higher scale, you know? It's a lot of money involved, millions, if not billions of dollars involved in this type of corruption in America.
Under Trump, we're all getting shot. He got shot. Charlie Kirk got shot. ICE is getting shot. Guy tried to shoot me. National Guard is getting shot. They're getting shot. And the Trump administration has no ability to respond. When Charlie Kirk got shot, Trump could not even pretend to care. Did anything result from that? No. When Charlie Kirk got shot, they said, we are going to hold these people accountable. Has even one single additional arrest been made except for Tyler Robinson? Has even one? Have they investigated it at all? Have they reported their findings? No. Have Antifa been arrested? Have any far-left agitators, have they been arrested? No. Have the people inciting violence been arrested? No. So you have this gesture. Immigration raids, mass deportations, Border Patrol and ICE, National Guard, going after Antifa. But it's not really there. The numbers are nothing. The National Guard deployments just haven't happened. And where they do happen, it's like a few thousand people. Nothing. Border Patrol, you know, they're making a gesture, but they're not really deporting anybody. Facilities are empty. It just isn't what they say it is. The crackdown after Charlie Kirk, they've done nothing. Nothing. And so you might say, well, does it hurt? Does it hurt to deport some people, but not many? Does it hurt to deploy some National Guard, but not enough? Yes, it does. It does hurt. And I'll tell you why. Because when you gesture towards that and you talk a big game and say, yeah, we're going after everybody, they are inciting the left. They are daring the left to retaliate. In the minds of the left, they think Trump is a fascist, and Trump says, call me a fascist. Mamdani goes to the White House and Trump says, yeah, call me a fascist. I don't care. He's embracing it. And the left really believes they're in the Third Reich.
I'm just going to say this. I feel like Trump is just trolling. He's using it as leverage. He knows they're not going to say it in his face, you know? So I feel like it's a way of him just, you know, pretty much just calling it out and saying, look, bro, just go ahead and say it. It doesn't matter. I don't care. And he's just trolling, you know? Nick is saying a different thing here, so we got to pay attention from what he says. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with what he's saying or you don't? Let me know in the comments.
They think they're in the fourth Trumpenreich in America, and the Holocaust is happening, and, you know, they're fighting back and all this, and they take this shit seriously. And they're getting armed, and they're shooting ICE, and they're shooting. It has happened several times now. They're shooting at ICE in Chicago. They're shooting at ICE in Texas. They're shooting at ICE in
Cali.
Washington State. Now they're shooting at the National Guard. This happens a lot.
They were throwing rocks as well. They were doing it very big. We all seen the images. They were doing it very, very big. That is crazy. That is super crazy how, this is going on.
And maybe some of it is fake. Certainly some of it is real. When we look across the board at Luigi Mangione, Thomas Crooks, Tyler Robinson, the tranny school shootings, the shootings at ICE, the shootings at National Guard, we could say maybe some of them are fake, but definitely some are real. And the fake ones are exacerbating the real anger that is really there, the real rage that is there. And it becomes self-perpetuating. And you know that these people are sitting at home watching TV, learning about how the billionaire oligarchs are instituting their fascist police state, and there's never going to be elections, and the military needs to resist Trump, and Trump is a tyrant, and they're doing all this stuff. We got to shut down the government because Trump is destroying the institutions. And you have far left nut jobs that are saying, okay, we're going to go and kill a National Guard. We're going to go and kill ICE. These are Nazis. And if you don't actually have a police state, they're going to get away with it. It's just going to get ugly. Like I said, if you had a real police state, how is it even possible the National Guard is being ambushed like this? How does it even happen?
Me, as somebody who's Mexican, who's Hispanic, who is also American, I feel like for all the Hispanics out there, this is not the way. It's not the way to attack the National Guard. It's not correct to go and attack ICE agents, That's not the way to protest, Do not retaliate. Just keep it calm and keep it peaceful always. You guys know a lot that I'm not here to push a narrative. I'm never here to push an agenda. I'm here to react, to see what's going on, and just give out my personal opinion on certain topics. Let me know in the comments what you think. What are your personal opinions? I'm not here to support Nick, but I'm also not here to support any party or anyone familiar. I'm not in America right now, but I'm living in Mexico, and I'm just watching this from outside the playground. You feel me? I'm just looking at everybody, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Wow, what the hell? Damn, these people are crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, wow.
The problem is you don't have enough of them. You got 2,000 guys, and they're, it's lackadaisical. They're doing their patrols or walking around. It's totally unserious. And so somebody pulls up. These people are not afraid. They're not afraid. They're not afraid to go to jail. They're not afraid to die. Same thing happens with ICE. They're following ICE convoys in their cars, honking their horns, yelling, because they're not afraid. So when you step to the enemy, when you step to the left, and you gesture towards fascism, but you're not really bringing it, you're not serious, you're just daring them to retaliate. And if you're not strong, then we're just going to get killed. If you're not going to roll up Antifa, if you're not going to deploy 100,000 National Guard, if you're not going to deport millions of people, then you're just daring them. And they're emboldened and they're not afraid, and they will be out there with guns and everything. And that's what this is. I've been saying it for a long time. Crazy people and the government, they're watching these events carefully, and they see the glorification of the assassins, the shooters, and between the psychedelic drugs, the weed, the chat GPT-induced psychosis, the porn, the internet, the mental illness, the prescription drugs, this cocktail of reality-altering experiences. You have more crazy people than ever. They're all seeing the stuff, and they're all making their plans. They're all scheming. And it's really just a matter of time. This is like you have live mines, like explosive mines everywhere, and we're just waiting to step on them. We're waiting for the next psycho to pop off, waiting for the next nut job to go and arm themselves because John Oliver told them that Trump is a dictator. And we're going to get more of it until and unless the Trump government is going to take it seriously and crack down. I'd support it at this point, but they're not going to do it. So they say they're going to deploy another 500. Okay, big whip. This is the Capitol. This is your law enforcement are being shot next to the White House. And you increase the deployment by 20%, you need to increase it by 5,000%. Obviously. And people are watching. They see National Guard getting shot, and crazy people are saying, wow, that easy? And I'm not trying to give people ideas, but that's what people are thinking. And I said it during the ICE riots at the detention facility here. I said, watch, the next thing that's going to happen, some ICE guy is going to get killed. And then it's going to escalate to a whole different level. The only difference is now they shot 2 National Guard in D.C. Slightly different.
Wow. That's sad.
But it's not cool. And it just goes to show. Sometimes it's better if your guy loses. It's better to not even bark up that tree. Because look at what Trump is bringing out in the left. We kicked out Biden, who was weak and senile, and the left was going down, and we brought in Trump. And Trump is now killing our side single-handedly, and he's inviting the left to refortify, regroup, and become maybe more vicious than ever because he's not serious. And that's the thing. I would love if he was. I don't like to sit here and hate on Trump all the time. But you know what? That's why people like him, and that's what people wanted, and I would like him if he delivered, but it isn't there, and that's putting all of us in jeopardy.
I'm not here to throw shit at Trump. I'm not here to throw shit at Nick. I'm not here to throw shit at anybody, but Trump, he hasn't really been standing on business. First of all, he got shot, you know? And a lot of people claim that it was by the left, and a lot of people thought that he was going to go after these people who try to, you know, unalive him in a way, and he still hasn't done anything about it. And how Nick says, you know, same thing happened to Charlie, but in this case, Charlie isn't here. And who's to say that the investigation should be over, you know? They caught the person that did it, it's over. Should it end just right there, or should they investigate deeper and see who's behind this attack, who sent the person, you know? So I get what he's saying. At the same time, you know, it's only been about 2 or 3 months since Charlie's been gone. I don't know if these procedures take longer, but at the end of the day, we will find out within 2026, hopefully, how this unfolds. But as of now, Nick is calling it out. I'm not here to crucify him about it, and I'm not here to disagree with him. But
people are looking at this and saying, wow, it's kind of stupid, isn't it? 2 National Guards just got caught with their pants around their ankles. They just got shot. And the guy got away. And they arrested him, obviously, but he was able to get it off. This is a very ominous and dark sign, and it's very worrisome. And I don't like where this is going, because this is now a part of a bigger pattern. Trump gets shot. Another guy shows up at Mar-a-Lago. Luigi Mangione kills the CEO. Then you get a couple of transgender mass shootings. We had that one in Minneapolis not too long ago. Then you get the Charlie Kirk shooting. You get the attacks on ICE, the attacks on National Guard. This is all part of the same story, by the way. And the government doesn't even seem to have a message on it, let alone a solution.
what do you guys think? Do you guys think that everything so far that's been going on has been good with this current administration? Or do you guys feel like something better could have been done? Or do you guys just want to give it time, relax, and sit back and let these things unfold? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, tuning in. If you haven't already, go hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and let me know what you guys think about this whole current situation that you guys just witnessed with me. Appreciate you guys so much. See you guys on the next one.